Did you know that 90% of students struggle with studying effectively? You might spend hours with your books, but still feel like you're not retaining anything. Here's a shocking fact. Research shows that most people forget 50% of what they learn within just an hour of studying, and 70% within 24 hours. That's because traditional study methods don't work as well as we think. But what if you could turn this around and study smarter, not harder? Imagine learning more in less time, feeling confident before exams, and actually remembering what you study for years to come. In this video, we'll reveal simple, science-backed techniques that can transform your study routine. From mind mapping to deep work, you'll discover how to cut through the noise and focus on what truly matters. Stick around to learn why everything you thought you knew about studying might be wrong, and how to fix it before it's too late. Chapter 1. The Eureka Moment. Why traditional studying doesn't work. Most of us grew up learning the same way: read, highlight, and memorize. But did you know that these traditional methods can actually hurt your long-term retention? Studies show that passive reading and rereading can be inefficient. In fact, one study from the Journal of Experimental Psychology found that rereading texts has minimal impact on learning. The real power comes from engaging actively with the material. Active learning, where you quiz yourself and teach others, is far more effective. That's because it forces your brain to think deeply about the information. This concept isn't new. Albert Einstein once said, "If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough." So, the next time you sit down to study, ask yourself, am I just reading this or am I truly engaging with it? Traditional studying also doesn't work well because it doesn't encourage spaced repetition. The forgetting curve, discovered by psychologist Hermann Ebbinghaus, shows that we forget information at an exponential rate unless we actively review it. This is why cramming doesn't stick. You might remember the information for the test, but within a few days, it's gone. The secret is studying smarter, not harder. So, how do you actively learn and keep the info fresh? One strategy is called retrieval practice, where you force yourself to recall information instead of passively reading it. Chapter 2. Mind Mapping Mastery. Visualizing your way to success. Mind mapping is a game changer in the study world. It takes information that feels overwhelming and breaks it down into bite-sized chunks. You can think of it like creating a roadmap for your brain. According to research, mind mapping can boost memory retention by up to 40%. You're no longer just reading, you're organizing your thoughts and making connections between ideas. Tony Buzan, the creator of mind mapping, says, "The human brain thinks in images, not in words." By turning notes into colorful diagrams, your brain can process and retain more information. In a study conducted by the University of Portsmouth, students who used mind maps scored 15% higher on their exams than those who studied using traditional methods. But mind mapping isn't just for visual learners. It helps anyone by enhancing clarity and breaking down complex subjects. The beauty of mind mapping is that it can be used for anything, whether you're studying for history, science, or even languages. Start with a central idea in the middle of the page, then branch out with related concepts. This will give you a visual overview of how everything connects. Instead of overwhelming yourself with pages of notes, you'll have a map that shows you the key points and their relationships. You can then refine your focus to study the branches that matter most. This strategy can be an excellent way to prepare for exams or projects. Chapter 3. The 80-20th Study Rule. Focus on what actually matters. The Pareto Principle, or the 80-20th Rule, is about working smarter, not harder. It states that 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. When it comes to studying, this means identifying the most important material and focusing on it. Research by Harvard Business Review found that top performers spend most of their time on high-impact tasks. Applying this to studying could revolutionize your approach. Instead of trying to memorize everything, focus on the 20% of material that is most likely to show up on exams or is critical for understanding the subject. A practical way to implement this is by reviewing past exams or studying the most frequently covered topics. For example, if you're learning a new language, focus on the most common words and phrases. It's a strategy that saves you time and energy while increasing your mastery. Another approach is prioritizing core concepts over minor details. For instance, when studying history, focusing on the main events and their causes can give you a broader understanding of the subject. This principle isn't just for the classroom, it's an efficient way to approach life. Think about how the top 20% of your study time could yield 80% of your exam score. Use this to make the most of your study hours, and you'll be amazed at the results. Don't forget to subscribe for more unique study strategies that will help you study like never before. Chapter 4. The Focus Funnel. Filtering out distractions. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. From smartphones to social media, staying focused can feel impossible. But what if you could filter out distractions easily? That's where the Focus Funnel comes in. This concept is simple. Prioritize what really matters and remove the rest. Start by identifying your most important study tasks for the day. Eliminate distractions like checking your phone or scrolling through Instagram. According to ResearchGate, the average person spends about 2.5 hours a day on social media. Imagine what you could achieve if you cut that time in half and spent it on focused studying. One of the most effective ways to improve focus is the Pomodoro technique. This method involves setting a timer for 25 minutes of focused work followed by a 5-minute break. After 4 Pomodoros, take a longer break. Studies show that taking regular breaks helps maintain focus and prevents burnout. It might sound simple, but it's a strategy that actually works. When you set clear boundaries for your study time, you're more likely to be productive and engaged. Another technique to manage distractions is the 2-minute rule. If a task will take less than 2 minutes to complete, do it immediately. This prevents small tasks from piling up and taking up mental space while you're trying to study. Over time, you'll see a huge difference in your productivity. Chapter 5. The Power of Self-Quizzing. Your brain's ultimate workout. Quizzing yourself is one of the most powerful study techniques, yet it's often overlooked. It forces your brain to recall information, strengthening your memory. In fact, research from psychological science found that students who practiced self-quizzing retained information 50% better than those who only reviewed notes. This is because recalling facts strengthens the neural pathways associated with that information, making it easier to remember later. The beauty of self-quizzing is that it's flexible and can be done with any subject. You can use flashcards, create practice tests, or even teach the material to someone else. The act of retrieval is much more effective than simply reviewing notes or textbooks. Instead of passively reading, you're actively engaging with the material. If you're preparing for an exam, try testing yourself every few hours or days. This technique is even more powerful when combined with spaced repetition. The idea is to review information at increasing intervals to help solidify it in your long-term memory. This strategy has been proven to boost exam performance, and it's a technique that can be used by students of all ages. Chapter 6. Mastering the Art of Deep Work. How to study like a genius. Cal Newport's concept of deep work can completely transform how you study. It's about entering a state of focused concentration where you work without distractions. Deep work is powerful because it allows you to engage with material at a deeper level, making it easier to learn complex subjects. Newport argues that this type of focused work is what separates successful people from everyone else. When you study in short, uninterrupted bursts, you achieve far more than when you study with distractions. Research from the Journal of Educational Psychology found that students who worked in deep, focused sessions performed better than those who studied in shorter, scattered blocks. The key is to create a distraction-free environment. Turn off your phone, close unnecessary tabs, and tell others not to disturb you. Deep work is most effective when done in long, uninterrupted periods of time. Another benefit of deep work is that it helps you learn at a faster rate. When you're completely absorbed in the material, your brain processes and retains information more efficiently. Studies show that the brain performs better when it is given time to concentrate deeply, rather than switching between tasks constantly. By focusing deeply, you can study less but achieve more. Make sure to subscribe for more tips on mastering your study routine and reaching your full potential.